he had said this, he said to Peter, "Follow me." Good morning again, everyone.
Good morning, Father.
It's Friday, and Friday is a day of recollection. Once again, we break that word, and we understand the day of recollection. That means the day we recollect, ourselves. We recompose ourselves. We remember ourselves, and ourselves is not just us alone, our lives alone. We are one member in Jesus Christ. And how we do we recollect ourselves, or have this day of recollection? And we return to the Holy Eucharist. We return to this mystical body of Jesus Christ with the Word of God. Now, Jesus said to Peter, after asking him 3 times, "Do you love me?" And if you pay close attention, the first time Jesus asked, the first question was not, "Do you love me?" but, "Do you love me more than these?" Okay? More than these, that means there was Thomas, James, and John, the other Simon, and the other James, the cousin of Jesus, the other 10, right? They were there. And I was there at the place where Jesus baked the fish, the place in Galilee, in the sea, on the Sea of Tiberias, Sea of Galilee. That very spot where Jesus baked the fish and asked Peter to throw the net on the other side of the boat and catch. He caught 150 big fish, 53 big fish. I was there, and I imagine and envisioned that, and there were the other apostles. Okay. And Jesus asked, "Do you love me more than these men?" Implying that the other 10 also loved Jesus. They gave up everything to follow Jesus. Right? So Peter he answered, "Yes, Lord, I love you." The answer is deep. It is not about yes, as mere saying, "Yes, I love you," but you know it. You know it. Although Peter did something wrong, he denied Jesus, but the denial of Jesus because of his cowardice. Okay, at the same time, he still loves Jesus. He followed Jesus all the way. He's the only one. Of course, John also, he followed Jesus, but all the way during the passion, during the trial of Jesus, Peter keep following him. And if I explained this to you before, as I sit on the hill and in the temple of Jerusalem, and I look around, Peter had to follow Jesus' trial. He had to walk like 30 minutes around from the house of Caiaphas to the house of Pontius Pilate, to the palace of Herod, and back to Pontius Pilate, all around. It took hours. And Peter followed him all the way. After the event in the Garden of Gethsemane, and to the end, to the place where he denied Jesus. But he truly loved Jesus. In one moment of weakness, he denied him. But still he loved him. And it says something about us also. Although we are broken, we're wounded, as many of us are sick in mind, body, soul, but still we have the ability to love. We still love. Wounded lover. We still love. We can still love. Even when we're broken, even we die, we can still love. We're about to die, we still love. And the whole thing, if you put in the proper context, the word Jesus say, "Follow me." Why did he conclude after asking Peter, "Do you love me?" 3 times, "Do you love me more than these guys?" And Peter said, first, I love you. And you know that I love you again. And you know everything. He acknowledging Jesus is God. Of course, he is the risen Christ. You know everything. And you know that I love you. You know, I'm not saying it anymore. But you know. Your heart knows. And Jesus told Peter that, "Follow me." What does it mean to follow me now? Before, Jesus called Peter, James, and John. Follow me, come and see. Follow me, come and see. Oh, follow me and see how I live, how I preach, how I pray, and all those things. And I perform miracles, and I raised Lazarus from the dead. I cure the lepers. I make the lame walk, the blind sees, and all those things. But this, follow me in the end, what does this mean? Now Peter answered, give the answer already. Peter 3 times he said, you know I love you. You are the only love in my life now. Follow your love. Follow your love. It's no longer follow the miracles, the power, the preaching and the ministry. Yes, we still do that. But if we do not follow the love of Jesus Christ, what is the point? We come out there and we preach and we preach. We can recite the Bible, memorize. We can memorize the whole Bible. It's just knowledge. But here, follow your love. We're not just preaching or giving witness to what we just know here. We give witness to our love. Someone, not something. Follow your love. Follow your Lord, your love. Because you said it 3 times. Now, let us apply this and recollect ourselves. And the way we recollect ourselves is recollect ourselves in the Sacred Heart of Jesus Christ, which is the Holy Eucharist. The same question is asked right now to all of us. Do you love me more than all of those? Presumably your family, your parents, husband, wife, children. When we presume that, we assume that they love Jesus. Do you love me more than them? Yesterday I had a meeting with the Faith Formation Board. This is twice already. That one of our staff, a teacher, said that when we register the children for the class for catechism and for First Communion, and the policy is that the children has to come to class on Sunday evening. But the report is this: the mother said, we have sport, and the children cannot come to the class and stay there because of sport. And many times this story just keep recurring to me. I said this before. Our religion in the culture right now, we have 3 religions, remember? The religion of me, the religion of sport, and of course church. Church is the 3rd one, maybe the last, maybe the 10th one. But I'm not criticizing. I just imagine that. Suppose the parent, the mother or the father, consider Jesus, consider God, consider eternal life, consider the salvation of our soul more important than sport, and bring the children with that conviction. Okay, I'm going to bring my children to church to study, Jesus, to learn about Jesus more than sport. The conviction is about sport, not about giving your children Jesus and heaven. Imagine that. I just imagine, not criticism. Imagine that. And the question is, do you love me more than sport? Do you love your children and give them, the chance to get to know Jesus and get a chance to go to heaven? Do you love me more than anything else? If you love me that way, and feed your children, tend your children, take care of them with me, with my love. I saw this in Fatima since today is the 13th of May. And I did a very stupid thing, really. It seems very heroic. It was an innocent thinking. I wanted to go to Fatima for a long time, all my life. And I wanted to do a true, real pilgrimage on my knees. Walking, far away to the place where Our Lady appeared to the 3 children. I walked on my knee. I did, and I did a very stupid thing. I wore the same redemptorist habit, and I walked on my knee. It was stupid because it was noonday, sunlight. It was so hot, and with the habit, and the first third of the way, walking on my knees, praying the rosary, I was strong. The second half, I was carrying the cross. It was pain, excruciating pain on my knees. I scratched, my knees was, it was all bloody. And I ruined my shoes. And the third half, the last third half of the journey, it was not my own strength. It was not my own willpower. It is almost like I was crawling on the ground. It was so hard. But on the way, it's like a journey. It's very short, only maybe a mile, 2 miles, something like that, and not that long. For a lot of people, they're so used to it on their knees. What happened was that I learned so much. It's like your life. The first third of your life, you're strong, you're growing, and you can do it. You can do it. You have to reach it, and then the mountain top, you can do it. And you have not found your place in the world, okay? And then you try to, maybe you want to become a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer, whoever that is. And when you reached it, and suddenly, oh, yeah, I reached it. And now I have to slave myself. Really, and then tiring and those things. And you have to use your willpower. I can do it. And until you reach the last part, like 3 parts, last part, and you have no more strength. You have to rely on the grace of God. But on that journey, it's very short. It's like your whole life, right there in front of your eyes, you saw things. I saw nuns and priests passing by and people talking, taking pictures and looking at me weird. You're a priest and you're doing this, and you're a sinner. And like only lay people do this. Yeah, I'm a sinner, like everybody else. And I think I was the only priest who did that. And the temptation of being proud. You're a sinner, but you're proud you're a sinner because you do this, and nobody does that. No, I don't see any priest did that, but I did that. But it's not about it. And what I saw was this. I saw a whole family with a man raising up the rosary on his knee and crawling on his knee, and he was crying. His children, his wife, his parents. I thought he was repenting for his sin. He committed some kind of sins. It was beautiful that the whole family walking along with him. He's the only one who did the penance. And by saying, I'm sorry, Mary, help me, he's saying, like Peter, I love you, Lord. I saw something else. I saw, this is amazing, this was amazing. Oh, this old, elderly mother, I think she was in her 70, from Portugal. And this daughter, who was, she had no legs and no arms. She was on this rope, on her stomach, flat, and she was crawling. You see that womb crawling like this. And the mother's kneeling, following her. She was crying, amazing, these people, and saying, I love you, Mary, I love Jesus, crawling, slowly going to Mary. I saw this family, this mother, very young. I think she was in her 20s, late 20s, with several kids around her, and her newborn babies. She held her babies and on her knees and kneeling and crawling toward Mary and saying, this is your child, mother, this is your child. Continually saying the rosary. That's how much they love Jesus and how they love Mary. I saw that. And then you have to be on your knee to see that. I think Peter was on his knee when he saw Jesus. Lord, I'm not worthy. Really, I'm not worthy. It's the Lord. I'm so sorry. Stay away from me. I'm not worthy. But that's how you say, I love you. Now, the question is, how much do we love Jesus? And is Jesus the only love of our life? What is the point of living? What is the point of being Catholics? Follow him. Follow him.